Hey everybody, welcome to CC&LJ. This is LJ coming to you live from Charlotte Motor Speedway with our inaugural Monsters of Dirt Maniac Monday series with the Dirt Street Stocks. They are starting qualifying. We'll be with you shortly. All right, racing fans, thanks for joining CC&LJ. Tonight we have LJ. As CC is out, she had a championship game to attend to, so she is not joining me tonight. She should be back next week. This is the Monsters of Dirt, a new league that, well, at least it's new to CC&LJ. We just started broadcasting them tonight. These are Dirt Street Stocks, also a first for CC&LJ Broadcasting. We haven't broadcasted the Dirt Street Stocks yet. This is called the Maniac Monday series, and it is going to be a weekly race, again, starting right now in Charlotte. We'll have the schedule up eventually. But you can go to the Monsters of Dirt Facebook page and join the group and see the entire schedule there. They also have a website. I think it's Monsters of Dirt iRacing, something like that. I'll have to clarify that. This is week one, so a couple of details to iron out. And anyone who follows CC&LJ knows that CC is the detail-oriented one and LJ is the techie type. So without her here, I do tend to get lost sometimes. But I do know that the first place winner is $100. That's $100 cash money in pocket. Second place is $25. And third place is a skin brought to you by AC2 Skins. You can see in the bottom right corner, that is their logo. You can find him on Facebook. And he does some nice skins for your mostly late models, but I think he paints just about anything in iRacing. So tonight's going to be a 100-lap feature here at Charlotte, dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. There is going to be plenty of racing. We have over 62 cars in this main event here. So there's going to be some there's going to be some heat races, 2 25-lap B mains, and then a 100-lap feature. So stay tuned, stick around. We got plenty of racing in store. A lot of new names here that we're going to get to know. So I look forward to having you guys with me. And, of course, as always, follow along and join us in chat. We love to play with you. So All right, as they're gridding up for heat race number 1, let's take a look at the lineup. At the pole position, we've got Kyle Surratt. Outside of him is Casey Brunson. Second row, Logan Walls, Caleb Ramsey. In the third row is Jim Revis and Brock Evans. Fourth row, Cole Harvey, Jason McConnell. And in the fifth row, Brian Fine and Eric Caskey. Sixth row is Shane Matty, Chris Kidd. And bringing up the rear is Daniel Cummings Jr. So, again, these are the dirt street stocks. They are the entry-level cars in iRacing. This is what you got to start with to get out of your rookie. That doesn't mean that they're bad. They're just the slower of and the kind of more durable cars. So they're the perfect cars for the rookies to learn into. And then once you get out of these, you move up your ranks to the late models and whatnot. But what does that mean? Does that mean that they're easier? No. It means that they're more, more prone to mistakes, because you make a mistake in one of these things, they don't have the power to get out of it. If you get on the wrong line or you get on the slow line, it's almost impossible to do anything about it. So look for clean racing, hit your marks, find your line, and don't get tangled up in traffic. And definitely when you have an opportunity to pass, you've got to take it. All right, so they are green flag racing, and we'll go ahead and take a peek at what we got going on right now. Kyle Surratt is leading the pack, but the pack is plenty bunched up behind him. Looks like they're running pretty much a low line. Couple cars up high. Oh, we got a little bit of door banging action. Watch out for them tires down there, 85 car. Cole Harvey kind of got pushed in the tires, but does keep it alive. When they come around the turns this time, we'll be able to kind of see who's making any moves here on the software. Kyle Surratt turning a 19.384 so far is the fastest, and he is of course leading the pack. I don't think these are fixed, so I think you got to bring your own setup. They had lots of practice races and plenty of warning, so these drivers should have had time to get their setups together. Thanks everybody for joining us in, and of course Scooter, one of our #1 fans, great to see you. And again, this is the Monsters of Dirt, bringing you this awesome new experience for CC&LJ Dirt Street Stocks. As Jim Revis in the 21 car from Illinois makes a move up to 4th place. We got some side-by-side action from the 114 of Jason McCormick right inside of the 48 of Brock Evans. See what shapes up with that as they both try to kind of overtake the 15 of Logan Walls. And now the 199 of Eric Caskey is making moves on the outside, so they're basically making it 3 wide. Now it's 2. Oh, wow, they're just kind of bouncing all over the place. So those 5 cars are kind of trading positions. The thing about these cars, in my experience over the faster late models, is that it's really, really difficult to pass because you really don't have the power to just suddenly make your car lurch. And they slide more. They don't have the articulating rear axle called the J-bar that the late models do. So they tend to, it's a fixed rear axle, so they tend to slide a lot more. Your goal is to try to make the car not slide, but they're not necessarily designed to do that. So you got to really, really choose your line that you're going to pass and stick to it. And if you have to let off the throttle at all, you're probably not going to make the pass. So qualifying is king here, as Kyle Surratt has shown, although he does not have the best lap. The best lap of this heat race so far, as we have 2 sticks in the air as they come around now. The white flag will be raising. Jim Revis, the 4th place 21 car, has the fastest lap of this heat so far with a 19.355. All right, as they're making their way around, they're pretty... Oh, no! The 14 car gets up in the air. I don't know if he got hooked from behind by the 199 of Eric Caskey, but he definitely went for a ride and did not finish the race. Well, he did finish the race, but he got knocked back 4 spots. So that was unfortunate for him. We'll see if race admins have anything to say about that, or was it just a racing incident? I don't know. I didn't catch it. Yeah, Scooter, we did have an Open Wheel Mods league that we were broadcasting for a few weeks, but it sort of ended a little early. But, if another one comes up, we'll be glad to broadcast it. All right, so this is heat race number 2. Let's take a look at the starting grid. We've got DJ Kalinowski on the pole. Outside of him is Jason Salter. Second row, Rod Tucker and David Blackburn. In the third row is Nick Quinn and Joshua Ellie. Fourth row is Benji Killian and Jesse Johnsrud. And the fifth row is Zachary Nitch and Connor Ross. Sixth row is Patrick Rasmussen, Jonathan Brown, and bringing up the rear is the 36 of Dustin Merrill. All right, so our first heat race definitely had some excitement in it. Let's see if heat race number 2 can show us some more fun racing from these dirt street stocks here in Charlotte Motor Speedway. Quick mention to our sponsors, AC2 Skins is the big guy bringing in some skins for the podium finishers, but also Right Hand Construction and Estes Energy Systems. A shout out to them. Don't know if those drivers made it tonight. Those are 2 drivers in the league. That's their kind of side businesses, so they are definitely supporting it. But right now, Monsters of Dirt is looking for sponsors to get shout out. We'll definitely put your graphics on the stream. You'll be mentioned on the Facebook page and mentioned often by the broadcasters here in the booth. So if you have any interest on sponsoring any sort of support, contact Monsters of Dirt. They'll gladly talk to you. All right, as they are coming around the back stretch, the pit truck is behind the crew. That's kind of funny. Nope, the pit truck has dove in, and now it is up to the number 13 car of DJ Kalinowski to start us off. And off he goes, and we are underway. As they are 3 wide already crossing the line. You're allowed to pass on the outside, but not on the inside. So you saw the 09 car kind of come up there before he crossed the start-finish. As long as you are outside the car ahead of you, then it is a legal thing to do. But if you are below, you cannot pass on the inside before the start-finish line. That will get you a black flag. All right, as they make their way around, it looks like pretty single file. There's a couple of cars making it 2 wide here in the back of the pack. The 04 has got the 75 inside of him with the 09. I think that's the 09. Apologies for not being able to tell right off the bat. That's the fun thing about iRacing is that the car numbers don't always match what my software tells me. So Connor Ross from Carolina has just moved up 2 spots to 8th, so good job on him. The rest of the field is moving around. It's noise right now. The fastest lap belongs to the number 16 of David Blackburn out of the Midwest region with a 19.492 best. Oh, the slide job went wrong. Little door slam in the back of the pack there. I don't know if he lost control or just didn't realize that there was a car above him. But definitely a little bit of action there as Connor Ross from Carolina now dropped 3 spots. So I'm not quite sure what went wrong. All right, as the field is pretty well single file except for the back of the pack, we got a little bit of 2x2 action. But our top 5 are pretty well in place. Top 6 really. Looking to see if any of them are able to make any moves here. Looks like they're all pretty well on the top end of the track, whereas on the heat race number 1, they were pretty low, or maybe even in the mid. The lap times look pretty similar, so I'm not quite sure if one's faster than the other, or if it's just follow the leader at this point. DJ is just kind of setting a pace, and the rest of the field's following him, but looks like the 53 does want to be faster than the 10 car, so Rod Tucker looking for a way to get around Jason Salter, but not quite finding a line to do it. Meanwhile, in the back of the pack, Jonathan Brown of the Midwest region moves up 2 spots to 9th. And as we saw, Rod Tucker on the last lap was the fastest lap time. He pulled it with a 19.480, so he is faster. He's just got to figure out a way to get around Jason Salter. Or is he just going to be content with his 3rd place finish as the white flag is in the air? And this is our last time around right now. And the 10 car peeking inside. So Jason Salter looking inside of DJ, but let's see if anyone pulls a slide job. 53 of Rod Tucker is thinking about it, but I don't know if... I think Jason Salter had the same idea to try to put a slide job on DJ, and Rod just had nowhere to go. I don't think it was a block. I think it was just two cars both trying to go for the slide job at the same time, so Rod had nowhere to go. But Kilinowski, Salter, Tucker, Blackberg, and Killian are your top 5 finishers of heat race number 2. All right, so John Etheridge is in the chat letting you guys know about the other races that Monsters of Dirt does put on. So you can reach out to him about any other information you want about the Monsters of Dirt League. Meanwhile, we got heat race number 3 gridding up, so let's take a look at the starting lineup for this heat race. We got Barrett Bishop and Eric... Oh, man. This is normally a name I'd give to CC. Eric Eistad. Second row is Devon Butts and Brent Carter. Third row, Alex Cummings and Blake Murray. Fourth row, Anthony Caudell and Joshua Hesson. Fifth row is Blake Hardy and Jonathan Guillen. And the sixth row is Lyndon Wiffle and Colby Long. All right. So we'll see. We've had some pretty clean racing. We had one little tangle up in heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 was relatively clean. Looked pretty good from this angle. So we'll have to see how heat race number 3 shakes out. This is LJ of the CC&LJ crew. Hey, and CC checks in the chat. Good to see you. Hopefully you're winning out there and dodging the weather. Oh, which, by the way, doesn't look too bad right now, but I am under a severe thunderstorm warning here at the broadcast booth, so if the stream suddenly cuts out, I apologize in advance. I'll try to get it back up and running as quick as I can. But like I said, the weather looks fine now, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. Yeah, Adam, you're absolutely right. Rod waited a little too long to pull that slide job, and he had nowhere to go because the car in front of him was also trying to pull the slide job. Oh, sorry to hear that, CC. All right, green flag's in the air, and holy cow, look at the start that Barrett Bishop got. He's way, way out in front, leaving the rest of the field in his dust as cars are scrambling to kind of find their positions as the 770 and the 631 make it 3 wide, almost 4 wide for second/third place. Looks like Eric Eishon is going to hold on second, while the 4 cars behind him are jockeying for 3rd through 6th. All right, starting to fall into single file now, as Devin Butts kind of was the odd man out, didn't get up to the top of the row. He's still trying to make the bottom of the track work, but it really looks like the top is working faster. He tries to find a place to slip in there between the 33 and the 118, but doesn't have any room. So he's still kind of stuck in the middle low of the track when I don't think the fast groove is there. I think it's definitely up high. Still some jockeying around, but Barrett Bishop is just running away with this heat race, with Eric Eishon and Blake Murray bringing up the top 3. Meanwhile, Devin Butts and Blake Murray are battling for position behind them. So, I'm sorry, Devin Butts and Joshua Hesson. I mean, I got to give it to Devin. He's trying to make it work on the bottom, and he's still sticking right there with him. But they just kind of get that momentum coming out of turns 1 and 2 to the backstretch, and he just doesn't have anything for it down there, down below. Meanwhile, right behind him, they got 3 wide racing action between Joshua Hesson, Alex Cumming, and Anthony Caudell. Caudill? I don't know. This pack right here is definitely the pack to watch right here in the middle. They're definitely jockeying. I do not know where the cutoff is, so race control, if you're still watching the stream, John, let me know how many cars are advancing from each heat race. Right now, I'm just kind of watching, but I do not know how many automatically get a pass to the feature from the heats, and who else is left behind to try to punch their ticket in the B main. Wow, look at these cars running way up high. They're running up on the super late model cushion, except for Devin Butts, who just refuses to get up there. I don't know if it's by choice or he just can't find a way to slip in there, but he's still running the low middle line, making it work, but really fighting a lot harder than those guys on the top of the line the wall scrapers are having to do. As the 631 kind of gives the 118 a little bit of a push, which was unfortunate for the 770 car, who might have had a chance to go up there. But 118 kind of got into a spot. So there he goes. He finally pulls a slide job, gets up into that high cushion to not lose any more ground. I mean, he's in fourth, so I do believe he'll be in the feature from here. All right, and it's 4 to feature. Thank you guys for letting me know. Which right now is Bishop, Murray, Eisted, and Boots. Oh, I take that back. Oh, we got a little bit of crisscrossing action in there. 3 wide, coming out of turn 4, coming across the line. How did they finish? It was Bishop, Murray, Eichstead, and Boots. Butts? I don't know. I feel like a child, and I want to giggle every time I say his name. The 770 car, how about that? They did make it into the feature. Everybody else is going to be going into the B mains to try to fight their way in. And as John is saying in the chat, on Facebook chat right now, it'll be top 3 from both B mains. All right, we have heat race number 4. Let's see what we got. We've got Josh Peacock on the pole with EJ Jones outside of him. Second row is Jamie Reed and Zach McSwain. Third row is John Etheridge and Brian Dean. Fourth row is Brandon Culp and Trevor Holman. Fifth row, Steve Robbins and Jarrett Murphy. Sixth row, Travis Moat and Thomas Mudd. Good luck to these drivers. Let's have another fun heat race. Let's see what happens. You're live, joined with CC&LJ, although this is just the latter half of CC&LJ. My better half is out losing softball games apparently in the storms. And these are the Dirt Street Stocks brought to you by the Monsters of Dirt. This is called the Manic Monday. This is a 100 laps feature at Charlotte, brought to you by Right Hand Construction and Estes Energy Systems, and of course AC2 Skins. You can go check them out on Facebook and get some skins done for your awesome cars. This is heat race number 4, I think it is. Is that what I said a minute ago? And top 4 are going to make it into the feature automatically. Everybody else is going to fight for their right to party from the B mains, which will be coming up right after the heat races. All right, so we have gradually seen every heat race move up and up and up and up more. And you can't move up any more to the cushion than the last heat race did. It was pretty funny that the first heat race, everybody was on the bottom. Second heat race, everyone was in the middle. Third heat race, everyone was on the wall. So I would suspect that this heat race is going to be get up to the cushion as quick as you can and get in that high line, because everything below that's not going to work. But we will see what happens as Josh Peacock launches us with the green flag in the air as we have 10 laps of this heat race, and right away you can see the cars run straight to the top of the cushion, and everybody else down below fighting for some position before they try to move up. You can see the 5 car of I think that's Zach McSwain. I'm not quite sure because my numbers don't match my names here. Oh, we got a bit of a tangle in the back of the pack as the 40 car looks like he is back underway again, but well off the pace. Don't know exactly what happened to him, but sorry to see that happen. Meanwhile, the rest of the field is moving right along as they make their first complete lap under green in my software updates. And yeah, so that was Trevor Holman that got kind of punched to the back of the pack. Looks like he might have gotten mixed up with Brandon Culp, and he moved to 11th. Meanwhile, the rest of the field is pretty much how they launched. Top 3 are single file with 4th and 5th pretty much single file, although Brian Dean is peeking down inside of Jamie Reed, trying to see if he's got anything for him as he goes down a low again. And we got a new battle for the lead, but didn't quite have enough momentum to pull a slide job off, so falls right back in behind the leader once again. And it looks like Travis Moat has gotten tangled up and moved to the back of the pack. Not quite sure what happened to him. Fastest lap right now belongs to Zach McSwain, who's currently running 3rd. Oh, I take that back. After they just crossed the line, Jamie Reed in 4th as the fastest lap of this heat race so far, as they're halfway through with a 19.454. As they are 3 wide coming out of turns 3 and 4. Kind of a little bit of banging around. Now these cars are going to rub into each other a heck of a lot more than a late model does. just because they're considerably slower and they're all, I mean, it's just hard to get out of anyone's way or to make a move. So you're going to see a little bit of bumping and grinding, and that's somewhat acceptable in these cars. They also can take a lot more of a beating than the late models. They've got actual sheet metal, like for real car bodies, as opposed to just the thin sheet metal the late model has. So they're a little bit more protected on their vital components. Not to say they can't get a meatball, which means a mandatory black flag for repairs, but it's a little bit harder than it is in the late models. As E.J. Jones has moved up to second place, it's E.J. Jones out of Texas, overtakes Zach McSwain from Carolina, as Jamie Reed is right now on the inside of the bubble with Brian Dean on the outside of the bubble looking in as they come across the podium with the white flag in the air. Looks like this is all but settled unless something happens with the top four. Doesn't look like it will. Maybe we'll see a slide job for the lead, but I doubt it. McSwain takes a quick peek inside, but doesn't really push the issue. And they cross the line again as Peacock, Jones, McSwain, and Reed are your advancements into the into the feature. Everybody else, try your luck in the B main, see what happens. There are 62 cars in this room, CC, so yeah. As a matter of fact, we have so many cars that my software can't keep up. Like my screen, the list goes below my screen. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to do this, but you know what? It's a good problem to have. Too many race cars in a race. Alrighty, so heat race number, whatever this is. I think 5, maybe 6. I don't know. We got a familiar name. Bailey Cardwell on the heat with Jamie Massey on the pole with Jamie Massey on his outside. Second row is Cody Tucker and Zach Fine. Third row, Derek Fedgenhuer and Austin Anderson. Fourth row is Tim Christensen and Landon Keller. In the fifth row, Kendall Jones and Charles Silvis. And in the sixth row is R.J. Packer and Rocky Battenfield. So that is our starting lineup for this heat race number, whatever it is. Austin Anderson has a fan in the chat. A couple of fans in the chat, as a matter of fact. The 26 car. Oh yeah, CC letting me know that Cardwell's not really that Cardwell. It's one of the other 100 Cardwells or so. So I don't know. I'm just going to go off of the name that's on iRacing. All right, so a lot of fan favorite, or it sounds like the fan favorite in this heat race is definitely going to be Anderson, so we'll keep an eye on that 26 car. If that's his actual number, I can't tell. Is he the Lightning McQueen looking car? I think he is, right? So my software has a hard time between the numbers of the cars. But either way, we're green flag. Most of the field moves right up to the pack. The 07 car, the Bailey Cardwell, kind of dove low and lost a lot of his momentum, and that allowed Jamie Massey to overtake him. And now Jamie Massey's going to go low. Let's see if Cardwell returns the favor, but he does not. So nice move by Massey to take an early lead as the rest of the field sort of is still jockeying for position behind him as Cody Tucker slides up into Bailey Cardwell. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. Into Zach Fine, is that? God, I don't know. My software's having such a hard time. I apologize. So we'll just take a look, and as they come around this time, my software will finally update and give me a good idea of what's going on, as they are 3 wide for third position. Yeah. And it is Massey, Cardwell, Tucker, and Fedkenhauer as your top 4, but I suspect that will change as they are still jockeying around as some cars in the back of the field doing all sorts of fun little movements, so definitely keep an eye on that. As Rocky Battenfield is the car I saw sliding all over the place, that 97 car. He jumps up 3 spots. Meanwhile, Zach Fine moves up 2 spots to take over third position. So right now, the bubble race is between Derek Fedkenhauer and Cody Tucker, with Austin Anderson just on the outside, giving him a little bit of a bump to move him forward, but those three cars are desperate to get in because the fourth place of Derek Fedkenhauer, that 86 car, is on the bubble. But right now, he is side by side and actually gets overtaken as Cody Tucker takes the fourth position away from him. So now Cody Tucker is in, and Fedkenhauer and Anderson are on the outside looking in, but right there on his heels as we are halfway through this heat race. Hey, Anderson slides a little bit down too much, got a little overzealous, had to lock up the brakes to avoid the tires as the 47 car, Tim Christensen, has the same problem, gets down into the infield and is way off the pace now. So that little kind of mix-up pretty much solidified this heat race. Looks like there's a little bit of a battle for the lead. Looks like Cardwell wants his spot back that he started with from Massey as he dives way low, tries to put the slide job on, has to check up to prevent getting into Massey. So that was good sportsmanship on his part. It was a nice try, but he did not have quite enough momentum to pull off the clean slide job. And Rocky Battenfield still making moves in the back of the pack there. He's jumping way up. He's all the way up to 7th now. So far, the fastest lap of the day of this heat race goes to Charles Silvis out of Pennsylvania with a 19.424. Last lap, the fastest was the leader, Jamie Massey. All right, with the white flag in the air, and again, we got to watch this bubble race here. Because right now it is Cody Tucker in, and Derek Fedkenhauer is on the outside looking in. Doesn't look like he's got anything for him as a slide job puts Anderson into the wall. Fan favorite just got knocked out, but it was the final lap, so it didn't really matter if you weren't in the top 4, although it does matter about how you're seated for the B mains. So that heat race is over. Do we have another heat race or do we have a B main? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? I don't know. We'll see. All right, so race control letting us know that the drivers need to be aware of their fuel issues. Are they going to bank on a little less fuel for a little more cautions, or are they going to put a full tank in there and make sure they have enough to make it in, but they're going to be slow at the beginning of the race? This appears to be a B main, a 25-lap B main? Okay. I'm going to go with that. It's a 25-lap race. Must be a B main. That's a very healthy B main. So let's go through the starting grid. Eric Caskey and Joshua Hesson on the first row. Second row is Derek Fedkenhauer and Joshua Ely. Third row, Steve Robbins and Jason McConnell. Fourth row is Anthony Claudel and Charles Silvis. Fifth row, Jesse Johnsrud and John Etheridge. Sixth row, Logan Walls, Jonathan Guillen. Seventh row, Kendall Jones and Zachary Nitsch. Eighth row, Brandon Culp, Chris Kibbe. Ninth row, Colby Long, Landon Keller. 10th row, Patrick Rasmussen and Travis Moult. And Daniel Cummins Jr. brings up the back of the pack. Holy cow, that's a lot of cars. Are there cautions on this B main? I gotta think there are. Some fun chatting in the chat, so I do appreciate you guys participating with us. If you have any problems with the stream, be sure to... Oh, it's a C main. Okay, so we got a C main rolling into two 25-lap B mains. Is that it? I appreciate the help, because again, this is a one-man show tonight. Normally we have two of us so that we can figure this stuff out, although normally we don't. We just go with the flow. So yeah. Anyway, 25 laps. I got to imagine that cautions are going to be on. We got a lot of cars to keep an eye on, so hopefully you enjoy this as much as I do. You are on board with CC&LJ. We're watching the Monsters of Dirt street stocks here at Charlotte as we're gearing up for a 100-lap feature. And they are off and running as Derek Fedkenhauer leads the pack into turn 1. See if we can keep it clean. Looks pretty good so far. Still looks like the top line cushion is the place to be, running along that wall. But the cars down below aren't too far off the pace, so the track may be slicking enough, and I got to imagine once we get to the A main, unless they do a track prep between, which they have the option to do as the race admin, that we could have 4 wide action all the way through the A main. So that would be outstanding. Personally, from a broadcasting perspective, nobody likes to see a one-line racetrack. But the slicker it is, the harder it is on these drivers. So, all right now, Eric Caskey has taken the lead, although I wouldn't bet that Fedkenhauer is giving up yet. I do not know how many are advancing from the C main. I guess it's 4. Oh, okay. So this is the C main that is going to roll 4 into the B main as we got a car blinking and bouncing off the wall. That's the 13 of something. My software doesn't show me a 13, so I don't know who it is. Charles Silvis, possibly? Could be. Nope, that's Charles Silvis. Nope, that's Jason McConnell. I don't know what's going on. CC, I need you. All right. Joshua Ellie from the Mid-South region jumps up to 3rd. Meanwhile, Anthony Cotto moved up to 7th, and Zachary Nitch moved up to 11th on that last lap. Right now, the fastest lap of this C main belongs to Charles Silvis, who just jumped up another spot up to 4th. He's got a 19.601 under his belt. That is the fastest lap so far of any of these cars. He also had the fastest last lap. As Jesse Johnsrud of the Midwest region drops 2 spots, maybe got a little bit tangled up or something happened to him. And Derek overtakes the lead once again. And I apologize if I don't announce everything that's happening. I'm trying to see the entire... oh, wow, Logan Walls is all the way off the pace. The back of the pack lost 9 spots, so he must have gotten turned around or spun or wrecked or something. See that for him. As Joshua Ely overtakes for 2nd place. I'm hearing some cars bouncing around, but I'm not seeing what it is, so I'm assuming they're just bouncing off each other. Oh boy, that was ugly. Oh no, they're still turning around. Throw a caution. Someone throw a caution. I guess there's no cautions. Wow, that was brutal. I'm very surprised there's not a caution in this C main. That was pretty ugly. As Chris Kibbe drops all the way to the back of the pack, Joshua Ellie drops all the way to the back of the pack. Jesse Johnsrud. Okay, so now we got a caution. Be interested to see if... Oh my God, that car is on fire. Let's see if we can take a peek and see what happened. A lot was happening there, man. So 114 got on the 199, and 199 unfortunately stuck the 13. He really had nowhere to go. It wasn't his fault. It was just the field started to bunch up. But that doesn't explain what happened to this car. I want to know what happened to that guy. This is Jesse Johnsrud. Slid up 60. He kind of slid right into 60. 60 down. Don't think knew he was coming. That was the problem. Oh man, that was brutal. Who was that he got into? I believe that was Logan Walls, maybe? Yeah. No? Wasn't him. Well, I have no idea. But we are 1 to green as the pace car is going to be diving down out of the way. And we got more racing ahead as we are halfway through this C main. Looks like Derek Fedkenhauer still leading as he starts the field green again. And see what can go on. Cautions do tend to lead the cautions as they are 3 wide for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7th place. Kind of bouncing off each other, trying to figure out where they're going to be. And I believe that there's a car out there without a front clip. Is that a car with no front clip on it? 99 possibly? Anthony Caudill? Yeah. Or is that just a black front clip? I don't know. Alright, as Charles Silvis moves up to 4th. John Etheridge is moved up to 7th. Kobe Long moves up to 12th. And right now, Logan Walls, the 15 car, has the fastest lap of the C main with a 19.392. Oh my God, there's a car. Oh, carnage. He's dead. Somebody just died. Somebody just died. Thoughts and prayers to that driver. Caleb Ramsey. You will be missed. Rip. All right. Let's see what happened to poor Caleb Ramsey there as he went for a bit of a ride. Well, apparently it doesn't want to show me what happened to Caleb Ramsey. Okay. Don't you love when a plan comes together? Whatever. Oh, there it was. Dang it. Right when I found it on the replay, I quit. Ha! All right, so we are at lap 20, so we should have there should be 2 to green as they come around right now. Right now, we got 4 cars that are off the lead pace. That is Brandon Culp, Charles Silvis, John Etheridge, and Patrick Rasmussen are currently down and maybe out. As we are 1 to green, and we will have 4 to go as they come across the line. So a 4-lap shootout. Right now it's Fedkenhauer, McConnell, Caskey, and Hesson as your top 4. So your first 2 rows are in. Everyone behind them is looking to get in. So watch for some moves from Anthony Caudill and Steve Robbins in that 3rd row because they are on the bubble. That is some desperation. Let's see what happens as Fedkenhauer starts off the group. Ooh, don't wreck each other, top 4. You're in. All right, as they get into single file, and the 99 car of Anthony Caudill makes a nice move down below. Don't know why he didn't just continue the slide job right up in front of the 199 of Eric Caskey. He probably would have had the position cleanly, but instead gets out of that groove and is going to have to really fight to hold on as the cars behind him are pinging and ponging and bouncing off of each other. Again, that's not terribly unusual for these street stocks. That's kind of how they roll. All right, 2 sticks will be in the air as they come across the finish line right now. As Fedkenhauer, McConnell, Hesson, and Caskey are your top 4. Unless something drastic happens in these last 1.5 laps, that should be who gets into the B main from here. All right, white flag is in the air. Again, just looking for moves up at the top near the bubble. Everything looks pretty well sorted there. Everyone back here is just kind of cruising along now. I do appreciate you guys joining me for this stream. This is LJ of the CC&LJ broadcast group. And my co-host CC is not available tonight, but you will find her on most streams. Just not tonight, so you're stuck with my lame butt. We are with the Monsters of Dirt here at Charlotte Virtual Dirt Track, and we have a 100-lap feature that we are gearing up for right now. We're just going through our C main and B main so that we can make the final field. We already had our heat races. So these guys are fighting for their chance to continue their night because there is a $100 pot for the winner of tonight, or of I don't think it's for tonight's race, but for the winner of the series. And second place is $25. Third place is free skins from AC2 Skins. So Right Hand Construction and SS Energy Systems are proud partners of Monsters of Dirt. Help them keep things going. As we grid up for the B main, here we go. We got Benjamin Killian and Brian Dean in the first row. Second row is Brock Evans and Alex Cummings. Third row, Rocky Battenfield and Nick Quinn. Fourth row, Jarrett Murphy and Cole Harvey. Fifth row, Lyndon Wiffle and Austin Anderson, crowd favorite of Austin Anderson. Sixth row is Connor Ross and Thomas Mudd. Excuse me. Seventh row is Brian Fine and Blake Hardy. Eighth row, RJ Packer and Jonathan Brown. Ninth row, Trevor Holman and Shane Matty. 10th row, Brent Carter and Tim Christensen. And rounding out the back of the field is Dustin Merrill. So, looks like it's admin-controlled cautions. And maybe they were a little bit slow on a couple of those cautions the last race. But, all in all, it was a good race. There was a couple cars destroyed. Maybe some people died. But other than that, everything was fine. Oh, Colby made a big push from 19th to 6th. Congratulations on that. So my software will tell me people's starting position to their current position in a feature, but not in a B main or C main or heat. It's the goofiest thing. So I try to keep track of it, but with 21 cars in the field, not happening. All right, so again, Austin Anderson looks to be the crowd favorite, so lots of people cheering him on. That's great to see. As Brian brings us to the green flag, I'm sorry, Benji brings us to the green flag, and we are off and underway and racing. Cars are moving up to the cushion as soon as they can. Right now, the 48 of Brock Evans is looking for a place to be. Looks like he's making something work down low, though, as he will cross the line in second, as third and fourth were side by side, basically dead even coming across the line. 97 car of Rocky Battenfield, who made a big push in the heat race, or was that the C main? Or yeah, it must have been the heat race, and was really making moves. As there he is again, still fighting his way. So that car is fast. I don't know why he was in the back of the field. Maybe just had a poor qualifying or made a setup change or what, but he seems to be flying. I mean, he's right up there in second right now, and depending on how he gets a run off of the inside line of turn 4, yeah, he will cross the line in second. Gets a little bit tangled up, but looks like no harm, no foul, as the 48 does take a little bit of a ride into the wall. So right now we got Killian, Battenfield, Evans, and Dean as your top 4 that are making it to the feature out of this B main. Everyone else behind them is fighting on their way to get in. All right, so Brock Evans took his spot back from Rocky Battenfield. And they're doing a little bit of jockeying as we sound like we got some hurt cars in the back of the field. Doesn't look like it's throwing a caution. 57 car Connor Ross is well off the pace, so he definitely got tangled up and mixed into something. I wish we could take a look, but we still got green flag racing, so I can't just stop the stream for that. Oh, as Battenfield... Oh, God, these guys managed to recover. I thought that was going to be ugly. But Battenfield does lose 2 spots, gets to the back of the pack, and then gets into the wall again. He's going to have those rocket burners that he had on earlier to get back up to the top, as he also has the 37 of Jarrett Murphy right on his tail as they go 3 wide. And now the 17 car, Brian Dean, gets into the wall. So I'm going to have to say that this track is slicking up a little bit. Oh, and Batfield gets into Dean. Lets off, though. And holy crap, we got some racing going on. So all of these cars that we're watching right here in the middle of your field are... Oh, there it goes. There's the big one. There, it had to happen eventually. Batfield somehow gets through that unscathed, but not so lucky for the 48 and the 17, as I think it was the 48 that did an end over. And I'm sorry, it was the 49 of Blake Hardy. No, was it? I don't know. again, my software. We will have to see how things sort themselves out. You had to see it coming, and I didn't really notice any dirty racing. I really just think that the track suddenly slicked off like crazy, because every single car, the guys that were running the cushion were suddenly in the wall, and the guys that were running the middle groove were suddenly in the cushion, not expecting to be, because they knew there was a car outside of them. So, I mean, it really looked like just innocent sliding, like the track just suddenly got super slick. Oh, okay, so Blake Hardy lagged out. All right, good to know. Connor Ross is back on the lead lap, making his way around. All right, so we've got 10 laps completed of this 25-lap B main, as top 4 are trying to fight their way in. Thanks for joining us. This is CC&LJ. We're riding along with Monsters of Dirt. We're at the virtual dirt track of Charlotte Speedway, getting ready to gear up for a 100-lap feature. This is brought to you by Right Hand Construction, Estes Energy Systems, and AC2 Skins, who has offered up a skin for the 3rd place finisher of this series. We are just riding out the caution. The pit truck is diving into the pits as they make their long way around. Charlotte is kind of funny like that. The pit truck dives in halfway down the backstretch, and then they're supposed to wait until they see that little Charlotte sign right there, and that is the go box, and that is what happened with Benji Killian leading the pack. See how clustered up they are. Once again, keep an eye on that 97 car, Rocky Battenfield. He really is fast, and as he runs that inside line, he seems to be the only one who can gain ground running that low line. Not in 3 and 4 though, but definitely in 1 and 2. As they are 3 wide for the bubble, so it is top 4 getting in. Oh, he tries to put a slide job on and kind of doesn't quite pull it off. Brock Evans kind of got into him. I'm not quite sure whose fault that was. That might have been Brock. Should have allowed it to happen. It looked like it was a clean slide, but kind of hard to tell. Easy for me to say up here in the broadcast booth, right? A lot different when you're behind the wheels of the cars. But either way, 631 of Alex Cummings is not giving up, because right now he is on the bubble and fighting for it with Brock Evans. So one of those two is making it, one of them isn't. And as I say that, suddenly they are 4 wide as the crowd favorite of Austin Anderson is suddenly making his presence known, and he's right there up in the mix, as they are basically 4 wide for all intents and purposes coming into 1 and 2. As they come back to 3-4, it does tend to settle out a little bit, but it is anybody's race. The leaders are very fine and dandy, and it's fun to watch the leaders, but let's be honest, this is the race that matters. This is the bubble Racha. So we are going to keep an eye on this as in these final 8 laps, as they are again 3 wide in the backstretch going into turn 3, sliding it around. And again, you can see as he completely loses it. The 17 car didn't want to slide up. Doesn't look like he had a choice, so maybe he had a little too much throttle, I don't know. But it really just feels like the track is slicking up, as we see the 47 car having the same problem back here in the middle of the field. So let's hop back up to the front. I want to watch the bubble cars race. So right now your 48 of Brock Evans from Illinois is on the bubble, ready to get in with, a little move on the inside by crowd favorite Austin Anderson. Doesn't quite have the momentum, but does make it interesting as they cross the line with 5 to go. Hopefully they stay green and we can get some good racing, as Alex Cummings and Austin Anderson want to overtake Brock Evans. They're going to have to do something quick. And as I say that, we see Alex Cummings diving down, will not have the momentum for the slide job, and may even lose a position as Austin Anderson stays behind, and he does. However, that position is irrelevant. The only position that matters right now is 48's position, and that is is 4th place. And there goes Austin Anderson trying to dive down. See if he can pull off a slide job. He does try, but a little too much momentum carries it into the wall. And good job of Brock Evans seeing that coming and checking up and sliding down in front as now Evans gets into the wall. So Austin Anderson is still in it. But look who's creeping behind is Alex Cummings as Cole Harvey now throws his hat into the mix as they are 3 to go as they come across the line. And again a slide job, again into the wall. And again Brock Evans fights it off. But he is forced down on the inside, and now he's going to have to carry his momentum. Oh, and that is the door that Austin Anderson was looking for. Let's see what happens here. Oh, they're 4 wide. Oh, boy. Look at that. Now, Austin Anderson is on the inside as he outdrives Brock Evans that was just pure guts. So, slide job after slide job, finally pulls it off. Looks like he will make it in as they are going to have the white flag raised into the air as they come across now. We still see Alex Cummings having a hard time holding his line. Again, I think it's just a slick track. I don't foresee that is any sort of cruel intentions. But wow, what a race that was for 4th position to make it to the show. Good job, Austin Anderson. Hey, Scott Dobbs, good to see you. 3D Racing Zone Scott Dobbs as Alex Cummings takes a frustrated lick into the wall, destroys his race car, but he could taste his way into the feature and just didn't quite get it done. Had a lot of traction problems, but he wasn't the only one, that's for sure. So, wow, what a race. That was the most exciting of any of the heats or mains so far. But we're just getting started, ladies and gentlemen, because we got an A main coming. So let me see if I can chat with anyone. I don't know who else in the Discord here. Nobody. Okay. Cool. I'm going to see if I can speak to any of those guys, but they're not in the Discord. That's okay. All right, we got a warm up as they get ready. And again, this is Monsters of Dirt, brought to you by Right Hand Construction, that's the Synergy Systems, and AC2 Skins. And you can see their motto on the bottom right-hand corner there. You can check out AC2 Skins on Facebook, and he's giving away a free skin to the 3rd place finisher of the series. This is week 1 of this, I think it's 12-week series. Manic Mondays, brought to you by the Monsters of Dirt. It is the Street Socks, and we are at Charlotte, warming up for the 100-lap feature. So we appreciate you joining us. I'm LJ of the CC&LJ Broadcast Group. We're happy to be here with you guys. And as John Etheridge just pointed out in chat, we started out with 62 cars and have whittled it down to 26. So I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of feeling I don't know. I'm kind of feeling Austin Anderson, but I got to admit, Rocky Battenfield from the Great Plains region, he seems really, really fast. And, I'm just going with what I saw. He started at the back of the field for whatever reason, maybe didn't qualify or just had a poor qualifying. And, absolutely dominated to come back up and make it to this feature. So, I don't know. I think that's who I'm going to keep an eye on. I do love the crowd favorite of Austin Anderson. That's great to see him. He really, really showed some grit to make it out of the B main to make it into this feature, so that's great. A couple of other names that I know from around, DJ Kalinowski, Josh Peacock, Zach Fine, Caleb Ramsey, Zach McSwain, Joshua Hesson. So definitely a lot of names that I know from my time around iRacing and from broadcasting. So should be an exciting event. These 26 cars just out-battled 40 others to make it here. So oh, okay. So my gut, I don't know anything. I've never seen Rocky Battenfield race. So I was just going off of what I saw so far, but it sounds like from what I'm seeing in the chat that my gut is on point. It seems to be a known winning driver. So, all right. Normally, CC and I would make our picks at this point. I think I've already voiced that I would be picking Rocky. If CC were here, I have a feeling she would be rooting for Anderson. I think she likes the feel-good story. She likes the crowd support. So, I don't know. I can't speak for her, but that would be my guess. All right, so Eric Eichstad was the runner-up in points last season, so we'll keep an eye on him as well. Wait, is he in here? I don't recognize that name. I don't know. There's a lot of names that I'm learning here, so. All right, anyway. How many cautions? We got 100 laps at Charlotte with street stocks. How many cautions? I'm going to say 7. Which means CC would have said 8 or 9. Because I always pick one less than her for some reason. Guess we'll see. So, who you guys got in the chat? Let's see here. Got some support for Rod Tucker, number 53. DJ Kilinowski. Andrew Massey. Andrew Massey? Jamie Massey? Is that who Andrew Massey is? I don't know. It's the only Massey I see. Barrett Bishop is a crowd favorite. But did he make it in? I don't think so. I don't know. Oh, so even with a full tank, you're not going to make 100 laps? Is that what you're saying, John? That even with a full tank of gas, if they don't have 5 cautions, they won't make it? Does that mean there's going to be some performance cautions or whatever they're called? What the heck is the term? Competition caution. That's it. There going to be some competition cautions thrown out there? All right. Lots of Rod Tucker love here. So, all right. Let's take a look at our starting grid for this A-main. A-main or feature, whatever you want to call it. 100 laps with cars that don't have enough fuel for 100 laps. So this ought to be interesting. In the poll, we got Kyle Surratt. Outside of him is DJ Kilinowski. Second row is Barrett Bishop and Josh Peacock. Third row, Jamie Massey, Casey Brunson. Fourth row is Jason Salter and Blake Murray. Fifth row, EJ Jones and Bailey Cardwell. Sixth row, Caleb Ramsey and Rod Tucker. Seventh row, Eric Eistad and Zach McSwain. Eighth row, Zach Fine and Jim Rivas. Ninth row, David Blackberg and Devin Butts. 10th row, Jamie Reed and Cody Tucker. 11th row, Derek Feidkenhauer and Jarrett Murphy. 12th row, Jason McConnell and Benji Killian. And in the 13th row, Joshua Hesson and Rocky Battenfield. So my pick is at the back of the pack. So if I get this right, I have bragging rights over CC forever. All right, so lots of crowd support for different drivers. Rod Tucker seems to be getting the majority of the love at the moment. Barrett Bishop getting some love from Scott Dobbs. And, yeah, well, lots of Rod Tucker support. So, or at least Rod Tucker predictions, maybe not support, but, you know, just picking who they think is going to win it. So, here we go. They are 1 to green as they make their final lap under caution. If I can get my software to look at them. There we go. All right. Hopefully we have some exciting, clean racing in store for you. This is LJ, the CC&LJ Broadcast Group. You're watching Monsters of Dirt, and here we go for the A-main feature as Kyle Surratt is going to bring us around and get on the loud pedal right about now. Here we go. Green, green, green. Let's go racing. Little overhead view since they are bouncing around and kind of 3 wide here in the middle of the pack. It's the best angle to see it, I think. So far, so good. Oh, my pick, the 97 car. Is he in the pits? Is he really in the pits? Or is my software just on the fritz? We believe he is in the pits. So much for my pick. That's what I get. The LJ Cruz. No. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. All right, as Casey Brunson from Texas has moved up to 5th position with the fastest lap the last time around. Fastest lap of the race so far belongs to your leader, Kyle Surratt, with a 19.423. Surprisingly, not that far off the pace from the heat races, so that actually kind of shocks me a little bit. All right, Jason Salter, the Mid-South, moves up as Barrett Bishop all of a sudden just took the lead, and I missed it. How did I miss that? Got basically 2 rows. You got the bottom row and the top row. There's nothing in between. Ooh, as they're bunching up a little bit coming out of turns 3 and 4, but everybody's keeping it clean. We got some good drivers here, obviously, on the field. Casey Brunson, Kyle Surratt did trip the line ahead, takes his lead back with Josh Peacock also taking over for 3rd, as we do have a caution. Looks like I'm not quite sure what triggered it. For real, my software is actually having a rough time with this many cars. All right, so it looks like Rocky is back in it. He is just catching up his laps. I don't know if that's if this was a competition caution or if someone got tangled up, but it is what it is. So right now, let's see who our big movers and shakers are. Let's see here. Looking for some big numbers. Well, Josh Peacock started 4th, is running 2nd. Jamie Reed out of Carolina started 19th, is running 15th. So that's a nice jump. I think that's our biggest jump. So right now, Jamie Reed, the 105 car out of Carolina, has a 4-position move from where he qualified or where he started the race from. So good job on him. That is our current big mover and shaker. But we're only 1/10 of the way into this race, so plenty more action ahead. All right, so crowd favorite Rod Tucker is currently running 13th. I got to admit, though, I'm looking at these lap times, man, and the best lap times, and everybody is separated. The entire field is separated by 0.3 of a second. So the best right now is 19.423. The slowest is a 19.770. So that is not a big gap. As we are green flag racing once again, let's see what these guys can do. See who's going to make the big moves from the middle of the pack and have to fight their way through this traffic. I don't envy that, but we've seen it done before. All right, Jason Salter moved up to 5th as Jim Rivas dropped 2 spots, got overtaken by Zach Fine and Rod Tucker. Middle of the field there. I'm hearing all sorts of rubbing and grinding here as they are basically 4 wide. Zach Fine getting a little bit sideways in the action there, but everybody's holding it together. But holy cow, look how bunched up this field is. Usually after 3 laps of green, I'm used to seeing this field more stretched out in those late models. But these street stocks, man, there's not a whole lot separating them. So you get these more bunched up fields, which unfortunately does tend to create big accidents, because once they start tumbling, especially in the front of the field, they can take out half the pack. But these are some experienced drivers. We got some high I ratings, so hopefully that lends itself to good, clean, safe driving. As Blake Murray from Carolina overtakes Bailey Cardwell to move up to 9th. That was the only big move from that lap. Good Lord, they are 5 wide, and there it is. Somebody going for a ride. Looks like the 114 car, possibly. Yeah. Couple of cars, lots of cars bundled up in the pack. Yeah, 114 or the 13, I'm not quite sure which car it was, but one of them was flipping and rolling. Whoop. And still running into each other a little bit. So, pulls out a caution, our second caution of the evening. See how it shakes up. Again, I'm not seeing any dirty driving. I'm not seeing any irresponsible driving. I'm just seeing a bunch of cars running about the same pace, trying to find their marks, trying to hit their marks, trying to find their lines, trying to share their lines, and eventually you just run out of space. That's really what it looked like from here, but we'll have to see if race control pipes in and has anything to say about it. Rod's got lots of quarterbacks helping him along the way. His spotters in the chat, lots of support for him. He has moved up to 11th. Let's take another peek. Any big movers? Let's see here. Up 2, up 3, up 1, up 4. Zach McSwain has moved from 14th to 10th, so that's 4 spots. Cody Tucker from 20th to 14th, so he has moved up 6 spots. Derek Fedkenhauer from 21st to 16th, so he's moved up 5 spots. So there's definitely some movers in the field. Good to see. As they are 1 to green, Pit Trup is diving down and getting out of the way. As Barrett Bishop or Cal Surratt, I'm not quite sure who. I don't know if the pole sitter gets to pick the outside if he wants it. But here they go, lined up, going green, and we are underway. As the inevitable accordion effect starts to affect the back of the pack, but everybody's got their stuff together. The also dangerous turn 1 and 2 after a restart, but we are through it and we are still surviving. And they are basically 4 wide at the front of the pack for the lead, but Cal Surratt has inched out and will hold on to that first place for now. As Josh Peacock makes a big move and jumps up 2 spots to move up to 2nd. And Cal Surratt moves down to 3rd after starting it. And oh, that's Barrett Bishop that's in the lead. My apologies. Again, it's kind of hard for me sometimes when the car numbers don't match up what software says. So I apologize for the miscues, but I try to correct it as quick as I can. Meanwhile, Derek Fedkenhauer moves up 2 more spots, and he is all the way up to 11th, so he's just outside the top 10 after starting 21st. Oh, so I was wrong. Okay, so tonight is a $100 purse, or $125 purse. $100 for first, second gets $25, and third is a free skin from AC2 Skins. So there is a lot on the line. I thought that was for the season winnings. That's just for tonight's kickoff race of the season. So outstanding to hear, John. Thank you, Monsters of Dirt, for that awesome contribution to get these guys in here. And right now it looks like Barrett Bishop out of Carolina with Josh Peacock, another Carolina driver, right on his tail. And Kyle Surratt out of Illinois and Jamie Massey out of Carolina as well. And Jason Salter out of the Mid-South round out your top 5. A lot of Carolina drivers. What do you know? Carolina and Mid-South representing here on the dirt tracks. Good to see. Fastest lap of the race still belongs to Kyle Surratt with a 19.423. Last lap was Blake Murray with a 19.7. Oh, God, we got a big one. Oh, we got a caution. All right. Looks like only 2 cars got tangled up permanently in that. Everyone else seems like they worked their way through, and looks like everybody's pretty much still on. I don't see anyone pulling into the pits yet. We shall see what happened from that. See if there's any EOL penalties from it. Currently we have well, I don't know. Looks like we have a few cars, 5 or 6 cars that are at least a lap down. We may see some wave rounds happening here. Looks like we already did. So as the 39 car has pulled into the pits, or maybe pulled out of the pits, I don't know. Again, my software's kind of glitching a little bit. Let's see. I don't see any EOLs here. As they are 2 to go. And that was our 3rd caution, I believe. Yeah. So again, our top 5 right now is Bishop, Peacock, Surratt, Massey, and Salter. And as the pit truck has dove in, and we are ready for some more green flag racing and see what Barrett Bishop has in store, or if Josh Peacock, Jamie Massey, or Kyle Surratt want to take their lead back. I think we've had quite a few lead changes. I'll have to check the summary on the next caution. And we are underway, and most of the cars again are riding that top cushion, but the bottom mid doesn't seem to be out of it, so looks like the track is pretty well slickened off, so it is definitely not just a one-lane racetrack, which is great to see from our perspective. As Derek Fedkenhauer is moved all the way up to 7th on that last lap from 21st, and we have a caution. Holy cow, man. That dude is making some waves. He started 21st and is all the way up to 7th place already. Meanwhile, Cody Tucker is not that far off his pace, as he started 20th and has moved up to 10th. So definitely some guys in the field making some moves here. See if that pays dividends in the end, as we have another caution as the 4th one. So let's take a quick look at the lead changes. Where is my summary? There it is. Barrett Bishop is your current leader. We're 31 laps in, and there have been 8 lead changes. So that's fun to watch, right? You can't ask for anything more than that. Oh, Rod did get taken out, huh? That is too bad. Well, I guess we should try to take a peek at that, see if we can see what happened. Well, apparently it's not going to let me. Apologies. So I'm having to look at 2 different screens with about 15 different things on each screen. So I apologize if I do miss some of the action, but you guys get to watch the screen and just watch the race. So sometimes you can tell me what's going on. As the pit truck is in, and Barrett Bishop takes us to the line as the green flag is in the air, and we are underway once again with lap 35 out of 100 underway. Got some cars still banging and grinding a little bit, as there's a bit of a battle up here for 3rd. 3 wide. Oh, car sideways. Oh boy, some cars just disintegrated on my screen. Straight up just disappeared. Not quite sure what happened there. Didn't pull out a caution, so I don't know what went on there. Might have just been my perspective was weird. It may not have even wrecked. It may have just flashed out to me. But either way, Jason Salter moves up to 5th, at least on the previous lap. Jason McConnell made a huge jump because of a couple of cars getting wrecked out. But we'll see if that is actually the case, or if that's just my software not quite being in tune with what's going on the screen. Definitely looks like the 21 car is well off the pace. Jim Revis. All right, so as they come across the line here, they're pretty well sorted out. Kyle Surratt moves back up to 4th. Blake Murray from Carolina moves up to 6th. Casey Brunson moves up to 8th. And Zach McSwain moves up to 14th. So that was the moves in the previous lap. I see a lot of blinking, but I don't think it's them. I think it's me. I'm not 100% sure, though. I don't normally have this many cars on the track at one time when I'm streaming, so I may need to do some optimization of my iRacing and my streaming software to make sure that everything's running smooth with this much action. So, again, I apologize for any technical glitches you may be seeing. Doing the best we can. Most of the cars are definitely comfortable up there on that cushion, just kind of making their laps. It is a long race. We're not even halfway through it yet, so it's a little bit of a survival mode, too. As Derek Vedkenhauer once again moves up 2 spots to take over 6th. As we are looking at the back of the pack, the cars are riding along the wall. I hope I'm saying Derek's name right. I kind of feel like I'm butchering it. But I kind of feel like I'm probably not the first one to do that. Looks like Jason McConnell did get into a little bit of trouble, lost a couple of spots there, as Casey Brunson moves back up to 7th, and Zach McSwain moves back up to 12th. So a little bit of jockeying back and forth going on there. As Devin Butts and Jim Revis are now the first lap traffic that we've seen get involved. So we'll have to see how Barrett handles that, or if that gives a door for Josh Peacock or Jamie Massey behind him to do some catching up. It does look like the lap traffic is staying low and out of the way, so good job on them. Letting Barrett by, letting all the lap traffic by. We are still not even halfway through this race. I'll be interested to hear, excuse me, how the fuel is. So, race controller, anyone who's, any drivers who may be in the chat on the next caution, if you could let me know what your fuel situation is, how you think you're gonna, if you think you're gonna make it, or if there needs to be more cautions. We've had 4, and race control was pretty sure we needed a minimum of 5 in order to make it with a full tank. So I'll be interested to see how that pans out, or if suddenly we have cars dropping like flies on the 95th lap, which would be interesting to say the least. Yeah, Chris, I don't know if the blinking is the drivers or if it's me. I think it's me, because I'm getting blinks from the entire field, which it's a common practice that if you see everybody else blinking, you're the one that's actually blinking. So I think that's the case. I am running the stream at a pretty high throughput. It is pretty much taxing my system out. So I think it's just me having a problem with maybe running too much and not having enough bandwidth and not having enough horsepower for what I'm trying to do. So we'll get it sorted. Appreciate you guys sticking with me as we figure it out. Looks like we had some moves on this last lap. Joshua Hesson drops 2 to McSwain and Eichstad overtake him. Lots of movement in the middle of the pack. 13th through 18th are shuffling all around. So we'll take a look at them, as the leader looks to be pretty much cruising right now. Oh, right as I say that, they're bouncing off the wall here. Zach McSwain is right outside of Jamie Reed, or inside of Jamie Reed. McSwain pulls a little slider, but they pretty much crossed the line dead even, so... Yep. Technically, McSwain took 8th place from him, but it was basically a tie. as Eric Eichstedt is right on Reed's rear bumper and looking on the inside. Doesn't have anything to do, but definitely letting his presence be known. As they are 4 wide right here as, Reed jumps up into the purple car of person that shall remain nameless, be named later. Who is that? I don't know. 13 car, but I don't have a 13 card. Eric Eichstedt? No, that's the 12. Oh, God, bouncing all over the place. Yeehaw, and we're sideways. And that sucked. Somebody hit the Shirley tire. Oh, was that Rod Tucker again? Did Rod Tucker just get knocked into a tire? I do believe he did. Did not pull out a caution, I guess because he was on the infield. So, there's that. '07 basically with 2 tires on the wall and 2 tires on the ground, and yeah, so that happened. So the '07 was kind of stuck on the wall. The 12 of Eric Eichstedt kind of moved up while he was still on the wall. '07 really had nowhere to go and accidentally hooked the 12, spun him around, got a couple cars behind him, and that brings out our 5th caution of the evening. A lot of dissenting voices in the chat from Rod Tucker having just a heck of a night, getting beat up, ran into the tires, and might have ended his evening. Nope, he's back on the lead lap. So, can't hold a good man down. I have no idea what the rules of fast repairs are. They may just be infinite fast repairs. I'm not quite sure. Another thing to ask the race admins about. As the admin is sorting them out and getting them into positions according to what they have deemed from watching their own replays, I suppose, I presume. That's how normally it goes. We do thank you for joining us. This is LJ of the CC&LJ broadcast team. We are with the Monsters of Dirt in virtual dirt track of Charlotte for a 100-lap main event where the first place winner will take a $100 cash prize, second place $25, and third place will win a free skin from AC2 Skin. You can check them out on Facebook. And Rod Tucker chimes in, might as well run a race a demo derby. Yeah, you've had a bit of a rough night, for sure. So let's ride along with maybe Blake Murray. I just want to be able to see the leaders here. Or maybe Jamie Massey. There we go. So let's see what these guys are seeing and watch them for a lap here. Oh, not. Checking to see if he's about to pull something off here. As they're 3 wide. Let's wait until they settle down. Then we'll definitely do a ride along. I want to just show you guys what they're seeing. See how hectic it is for them. But I just wanted to make sure that it looks like it's pretty much sorting itself out there. So let's ride along with Kyle Surratt. He's kind of in the middle of the pack here. See what he sees. Trying to make that low line work. We're now riding along with Caleb Ramsey, kind of in the back of the pack. I just want to show the traffic that he sees in front of him. So all sorts of different perspectives here. Bailey Cardwell. See that wheel just working, man. Yeehaw. Oh, right along the wall. Having to check up. 13 kind of slid up into him. Lost all of his momentum, but that's pretty much how it goes. So, yeah, that's what these guys are contending with. That's what they're looking at. As you can see, the track is definitely drying out as iRacing kicks up the dust and starting to affect the view, the field of vision for these guys, definitely in the back of the pack. You see the cars are just getting completely caked in mud, and that's not a big deal. But the big deal is the dust affecting visibility. And you know what? If you've ever been to a dirt track, you know that that dust is the worst part, man. It gets everywhere. You can't see. It's in your eye. You taste it. You feel it. You come home. You feel like you're wearing it. But it also is part of the charm. All right, let's take a look at the standings right now. Bishop is still holding on to a 0.3 second lead over second, Josh Peacock. Third is Blake Murray. Fourth, Jack McSwain. Fifth is Jamie Reed. Sixth is DJ Kilinowski. Seventh is Bailey Cardwell, who's made a bit of a run. Rod Tucker all the way back up to eighth, so he is starting to make some noise. Take a peek at it. Make sure we can see what he's up to here. Kind of stuck in a Bailey Cardwell, Jamie Massey sandwich, but looks like it's all about riding that wall. It still holds the momentum, even though riding the wall, which we kind of saw from Cardwell's ride along, and it doesn't look like he's unique in that perspective. We just saw Tucker do it. Also saw the 33 up in front of them. Was that DJ Kalinowski possibly doing it? So looks like that's just a strategy, maybe kind of like the late models at Eldora. The track's just broken down enough that that's the fastest line, so that's what they're going to run. As we are almost 3/4 of the way through this race, lap 73 as they cross the line, or 72 as they cross the line of 100. A couple of Texas boys making some moves. EJ Jones jumps up to 10th, and Benji Killian jumps up to 12th. Everybody else looks like they're in place. And it looks like the average lap times are way up now, a half a second slower than they were at the start of the race. So definitely the track is slicked up. They're running 19.6s at the time. The fastest lap, the fastest speed, the last lap was a 19.670 by Zach McSwain in fourth. But they're all ranging up into the mid to high 20s as well. So. Whereas early in the race, the fastest lap of the race was a 19.4. So everybody's about a half second slower than they were at the beginning, which is to be expected. The track is breaking down, it's slicking up, you're losing traction. The field is very, very spread out now. There's about a half of a lap, half of a track distance between the leader and last place. Almost exactly half a track, as a matter of fact. So as the leader's coming into turns 3 and 4, the last place is coming into turns 1 and 2. So I don't know if they'll make their way all the way around and lap them, but definitely spreading out and making some room. As Rod Tucker is just stuck on the inside line. As Jamie Massey rides the outside wall. See which one of those two prevails, because they're pretty much dead even. So let's see how that pans out. It looks like edge will go to Massey for now, as Rod Tucker does give up on that low line, moves up to the top to join him. Bailey Cardwell just moved up to 5th place, so he's making some moves as they are single file, but definitely not a lot of space separating them. 1st through 5th is separated by less than a second, so as you can see, they are right on top of each other. It is anybody's race as we are 20 to go when they come across the line this time. Jason Ritchie, you can join any of the Monsters of Dirt leagues if you have iRacing. That is the simulator you're watching is called iRacing. Go to iRacing.com. This particular league is run by Monsters of Dirt. There are dozens of leagues that run dozens of races every night, though, so you can always find one that fits your style or your desire. So, but if you want to check out these guys, check out Monsters of Dirt. And there's John Etheridge letting you know as well in the chat. So, I'm glad to have you. If you want any more information, you can always come to the CC&LJ Racing Broadcast Team Facebook page and find us there. And we'll point you to a league. We do a lot of broadcasting. We've met a lot of iRacers. So if you have a particular thing in mind, we may be able to point you in the right direction. Glad to help. All right, as the 5 job tries to pull a slide job on the 07, Cardwell saw it coming, jumped low, and stayed out of his way. Stayed low. Oh! As we got a little bit of action from 4th and 3rd, pretty much riding bumpers. But the real race right now is between Bailey Cardwell and Jamie Reed as they are neck and neck coming across the line. With DJ Kilinowski right. Oh my God, Kilinowski gets up on 2 wheels. Keeps it going though. Doesn't lose a lot of momentum. Oh, speaking of losing momentum, the 33 car of Blake Murray, I believe that is, just lost a spot to Zach McSwain. So we have a new 3rd place car, and that is the 25 car Zach McSwain, as Bailey Cardwell does outduel Jamie Reed yet again. So they are back and forth. Cardwell back into the wall, and let's see if Jamie Reed makes any gains on him. It doesn't look like it, as we do have a caution. This is our 6th caution of the race, which again sounds like, from what race control was estimating at the beginning, should be enough to allow these guys to finish under their starting fuel. Unfortunately, dirt cars do not get pit stops for refueling or tires. All they can do is repair damage. At least the dirt oval guys. The dirt trucks, the pro trucks, and the autocross dirt cars, they do pits, but not the dirt oval cars for whatever reason. Well, because real dirt oval cars also do not pit for fuel. They can change a tire, but I don't think iRacing cars change their tires. But actual dirt oval cars can go in if they blow a tire and get a pit, and then they just take an EOL penalty for the pit. It's the same as iRacing. Oh, Rod Tucker, who is the number 53 car in the chat, he's saying that, yeah, he is concerned about conserving fuel. So he has moved back to the back of the pack again, or middle of the pack, in the 12th position. And he says that it is a intentional move. John Etheridge, who's race control or race assistant, is saying that there's still 23 cars on the lead lap, so that's outstanding. All right, 1 to green. We should see the pit truck diving down. There it goes. So we will see Barrett Bishop launching us again. Let's see if Peacock has anything for him on this restart. We'll definitely focus in on the leaders and see what they do. And they're off. Maybe you'll let me look at the fuel numbers. Bailey Cardwell on that restart jumps up 2 positions up to 4th, as Blake Murray drops down to 7th. DJ Kilinowski and Jamie Reed also move up to 5th and 6th, and we have another caution, which is going to be interesting. We're going to have about 7 to go when this caution resumes, or when this race resumes out of caution, as that looks like it was the 21 car of Jim Revis got knocked around. So interesting. We're right along with Jamie Reed as he dives into the pits. Well, that's kind of surprising. Oh, you guys get to ride along and see what the pits of Charlotte look like. Oh, never mind. They're actually quite confusing. One of my first broadcasting races, I watched people trying to figure out how to navigate the pits in Charlotte, and just there's actually things like light boxes and stuff that you can run into and totally ruin your night and get stuck on. So all right, John lets us know that green-white checkered is in effect. Thank you, iRacing, for finally, after 5 or 7 years or whatever it has been, for them to finally implement one of the most basic racing features. They finally did it in the last major patch. They implemented green-white checkered. If you don't know what that means, it means that the race will not finish under yellow. If the final lap is under yellow, what it'll do is it'll just continue yellow laps. Once they go green, then they will get a lap of green, then a lap of white, and then the checkered flag. So you always will have a 2-lap shootout to finish a race, never under caution. So it's great to see. All right, I've got some requests to ride along with Rod, so we shall do that. And here we are, and with Rod Tucker. All right, and the pit truck is in. We should be going green here in just a moment. Go. Get a bit of wall action, but that kind of seems to be the... Oh, that was unfortunate for Rod. Nothing he could have done. Yeah, he's still getting tangled up, and we are under caution. So, yeah, that was just bad luck. Car comes right up in front of him as he's making a run off the corner. He had nowhere to go except for the back of I think the 16 car there. And then just some more cars were tangled up. As you can see, the carbon fiber mess that is Rod's hood. Ouch. Yeah, that's not looking too good there, Rod. Your car has seen better days. Your crew chief is in for a long week of prep for your next race. So, yeah, no doubt. Watch them temps. All right, so we are 5 to go. We should have a natural green-white checkered, I believe, if this keeps up. We will see what happens. It'll buff out. Classic dirt car guy. Dirt track guy. It's nothing. Just sheet metal. Give me a mallet. We'll fix this. All right. There's $100 on the line right now. Barrett Bishop, who has led a majority of these laps here. Let's take a look. I thought there was a way for it to tell me how many laps he's ran. Oh, well, or how many laps he's led. Guess not. Either way, pit truck's lights are off, which means we are going to go green. We'll have 3 to go as they come across the line. So this is kind of a natural green-white checkered with an extra lap in there. So hopefully we get to stay green and have it finished without it needing to do a green-white checkered, but we shall see. We're going to watch from overhead just because I think it's the cleanest view here at Charlotte to see everything that goes on as Barrett Bishop tries to bring home the bacon, the $100 to win. Wow, that was a very... Oh, no, that was... Okay, that was turn 4. I thought it was turn 2. All right, anyways, we're green flag racing once again as Barrett Bishop leads the pack around turn 2 into the backstretch. Rest of the field jockeying for some position here. Casey Brunson of Texas did move up to 5th on that previous lap. Oh, they're getting bunched up. Come on. Cardwell moved all the way up to 4th as DJ Kalinowski takes 3rd. Right behind Zach McSwain, looking maybe to make a move there as I hear a lot of crashing and banging and sheet metal behind him, but we are still live as they come across the line and finish this race with Barrett Bishop, DJ Kalinowski, Zach McSwain, Bailey Cardwell, Benji Killian, Josh Peacock, Jason Salter, Casey Brunson, Joshua Hesson, and Jarrett Murphy rounding out your top 10. So, great race. Great job, Monsters of Dirt. A lot of fun. I do appreciate everybody who joined us in the chat as the top 5 line up for their photo op here. Let's see if we can. There we go. That's a nice view of them there. So congratulations to your top 5. Again, Barrett Bishop, DJ Kilnowski, Zach McSwain, Bailey Cardwell, and Benji Killian. So, which, by the way, Benji Killian, from 24th to 5th. Good job, sir. If that's not the hard charger, I'm not quite sure what is. So, very, very impressive. Great job. Maybe just out-survived the rest. Didn't have to pit. Stayed out there. Kudos to you, sir. But top 3, again, the prizes were first was $100, second was $25, and third was an AC2 skin. So let me take a quick peek and see if I've got any interviews, if anyone is in the chat with me. So stand by while I take a peek at that. Otherwise, we'll be back in just a moment to close out this race.
But it's like I was too weak to be someone else. You could think that I'm a creep when I'm singing all alone, but it's like I couldn't see straight on my own. Hey, yeah, there's something that saved me all the time.
All right, so I went ahead and joined up into the official race room on the Discord channel. I got DJ Kalinowski in here, who was our second place finisher. What'd you think of that race, DJ?
Oh, I'm tired.
I was tired watching it.
From starting up second, going back to 7th, and then getting spun out and going all the way back to last and working my way up, that was fun.
Well, good job. And yeah, definitely there was a lot of shakers and movers throughout the field. Quite a bit of controversy. A couple cars got wrecked repeatedly. A couple cars got penalized. So lots of drama, which is fun to see from my perspective because drama is ratings. But also some really, really good racing. It wasn't, I mean, it was kind of cushion racing, right? But it looked like you could make something work on different parts of the track, or was it pretty one lane?
It was pretty one lane on the high side, at least 1 and 2. 3 and 4, you could kind of get away with somewhat of a slide job line. Otherwise, it was just up on the...
Yeah, is there anything we can do about it, or is that just the nature of this track? I mean, it looked like it was pretty slick top to bottom, though.
Nature of this track, plus the cars itself, they don't have a lot of horse to be able to pull off the bottom, even when it is somewhat...
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. All right, well, since you are the only pole finisher who is in the chat that I can see, you get all the glory to yourself. So anyone you want to thank, here's your time.
I do want to thank my teammates at HRE Motorsports. Bailey kind of worked his way up there with me. Envy Suspension, Fast Friday, Route 34 Raceway, Dirt All Access, Ohio Freshwater Adventures, my girlfriend for allowing this hobby, and my aunt that always watches.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Well, just as I say that, I see Zach McSwain joined the channel. So thanks again, DJ, and congratulations on your $25 second day place finish. And here is Zach McSwain, who won a free skin from AC2 Skins. You got your mic on?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right. So, I mean, you were right at the top of the field. I mean, you moved up from 14th to get there, but you were near the top of the pack for the most of the race at the end. How'd you get there, and could you done anything to overtake Barrett?
Well, I got from 14th to about 6th or 7th, and then DJ got in the wall there, and I was getting pushed from behind. So me and him restarted 25th and 26th, and I was able to go from like 26th to 8th without touching a soul, and then just kept working my way up through there.
Yeah, there's a lot of Carolina boys in this race, by the way. I don't know if you knew it.
Yeah, Massey and them boys can drive it.
I mean, obviously, there's these lower horsepower cars are going to be into each other a little bit more. There's not much of a gap from first place to last place, really. So it is a bit of the nature of the beast. It looked like a slick track, looked like a real challenging night. So congratulations on doing what you could with what you had. So yeah, here's your time. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank my team, Beast Motorsports. Howard Barlow's over that. He's helped me a ton the last couple weeks and got me a lot faster. And just thanks the rest of the team. My buddy Blake Murray there, we was working together a little bit. I was pushing him up through there trying to, but just thank the team. Thank y'all for putting on the broadcast. And John for putting on a good race.
All right, that was Zach McSwain, the third place finisher, winner of an AC2 skin. And definitely had to battle his way back up there. Your winner again was Barrett Bishop. We also had Bailey Cardwell in fourth and Benji Killian in fifth. So that was your top five from tonight. We do appreciate you joining us. This is CC&LJ. This was the Monsters of Dirt at Dirt Track at Charlotte. We love having you with us. Feel free to follow our Facebook page at CC&LJ, which you probably can see from this broadcast. And give us a follow. Turn notifications on. We do broadcast pretty often, so we'd love to have you with us. If you have any questions or have any concerns or comments, absolutely reach out to us. We love to talk to our fans and love to talk to people who love racing, so that's what we do. Until next time, keep the pedal to the metal, and don't forget to use your blinkers.
Down in the hole, something to say. Come